Over now to Chief Meteorologist Tim Deegan. And Tim, despite all the damage we've seen today, this could have been a much different story, I guess you can say.
Yeah, Tim, you were saying that if Hurricane Ian hadn't cooled the water 8 degrees, Nicole could have been a Cat 3 hurricane?
Well, 8 degrees may not sound like much, but it's probably a couple degrees of energy. So not that we want back-to-back hurricanes, but in a way, maybe there was something positive there. We're just going to go back 24 hours. Think about it. 24 hours ago, we had a Cat 1 hurricane 4 hours away from making landfall at Vero Beach. Took less than 12 hours to cross the peninsula, and now, thankfully, down to a tropical depression. Technically 40 miles north of Tallahassee and headed toward the north. The worst is over, but as mentioned, we are still dealing with some flooding. In other words, a lot of that water that pushed through the inlets, especially got into the St. Johns, but even along the intracoastal and the estuaries from St. Augustine all the way up to St. Simons, it still has to kind of slosh out. So although this high tide not as high as the one earlier, still we have water pushing through drains and causing some flooding around the area. Now, the most recent high tide we've actually passed out around the beaches. Again, Jack's Beach down to St. Augustine, up to St. Simons, downtown and through the urban core of the St. Johns and the creeks connected to it. We're right about at high tide. It'll be high tide not until about 2 in the morning down around the Buckman and 3 in the morning for the Shands. So our big three, as far as the storm is concerned, the winds are way down, but occasionally, right on through about sunset tomorrow, there'll still be some gusts to about 40. Again, the waters are rising with each high tide, but the overall water level will continue to gradually drop, and we can't completely rule out possibly one more round of isolated storms. We'll take a closer look in just a few moments.
All right.